this is something that everybody needs. When you're doing marketing, you got to give yourself a chance to be successful. And one of the symptoms is that I found out over time is just starting off with a generic number, 2K, 3K, it's usually a round number. And it's kind of like winging it. And winging it doesn't really, it could work, but it usually doesn't work. Instead, usually when you want results, long-term results, you got to start backwards. You got to start with the end. This is the way to start with the end. When you start with the end, you're very clear on your math about this is what I want. And if I want this, this is how much I'm willing to spend. So let's lock this in, create a plan for this. And while this is going on, I'm not going to be thrown off by the short-term results. Just like kind of like creating a plan for long-term so that I don't get thrown off by the short-term stuff. So question number one for you is, how much is one average client worth to me? Not how much money you collect up front, how much value the client is during the lifetime of the client. And do you collect on every single client? No, but that could be part of the equation. Let's just say the value is 5,000 and you usually collect 80% of that, then okay, sure. Then you can make that 4,000. But think about the customer lifetime value. So what is that? Write that down in your little blank space. And it's also a good test right now. If this number is below 3,000, is anybody number below 3,000? And again, this is be transparent. We're all here to make each other better. Is anybody's number less than 3,000? Heather, okay. How much is yours, Heather? If you want, you can talk it out with me. 100. Okay. So Heather, come on audio. We need to talk.
I'm happy to talk.
Yeah.
And I'm finally at the point where I'm kind of over it. I mean, I dominate my space online marketing, but it's just still just not sustainable,
And it will never be, even with the best marketing, you're still gonna struggle. So that means we gotta switch some things up. You gotta go focus on the higher end offers or just forget about it. The reason is every marketing, doesn't matter how good you are, which state you're in or what, there's always gonna be a cost to it. And the cost is gonna be minimum $200 to $500, maybe even $1,000 or $1,500 if you're in like crazy spaces. So there's always a cost. For you, I already know it's gonna be the cost is like gonna be at least $200 or $300.
Yeah.
Plus,
and I'm bringing in clients, but I'm still just not getting ahead in any real way. And so what I'm really talking about is, because I do have a decent database, right? One thing about having this many clients, I have a database 4,000 people. And I've been trying to decide, do I want to, start calling in some personal injury cases, partner up with other lawyers, taking a fee on that. But I'm also interested in wanting a virtual practice. And I'm like, do I just start like in a state farm practice as a separate practice and just start slowly building that as this transition,
Yep. Yeah, you definitely, you can't do it. It can't be a hard shift. Yeah, you start this on the side, you're building it up as you have this as your cash flow.
Right.
But totally, yeah, you're going to be turning and burning in the same place with the $500 offer. But I know this because I have a couple of offers that are $300 to $500, and one of them does 80K revenue, but the profit hasn't grown in 3 years.
Yeah.
It's just because of the cost of marketing and the cost of operations to do each of those, take care of all the clients. And
it's just too much. Like, I have a team, it works, they sign everybody up, I go to court, they update everybody, but still just never getting ahead. It's crazy.
For sure. Minimum in my head is like minimum is 3,000. Stuart, somehow we gotta find a way to get that up somehow, some shape or form. Offer building, different niche, different people, something. Adding on value, 3K minimum, ideally 5K where we want to be. And that just makes your life much easier, and it makes your entire business easier, it makes your marketing easier, everything will flow just from this. So that's a little troubleshooting. Anybody else have this issue? 3K minimum, 5K ideal. If not, it's a whole different conversation about, we try to do a little bit with like creating different offers, installment plans, focusing on better people, blah, blah. Yeah, hard to do bankruptcy. Yeah, bankruptcy just, I guess, becomes just trying to increase as much as possible and just quantity a little bit more. But yeah, Stuart, to think, I have some things that I can share with you about bankruptcy that I'm seeing. Let's go to the second question. Let's keep it going. Question number 2 is, how many clients do I want in my first 3 months? 3 months, not first month, because this marketing, your first month is, as I share with you, is completely, it's not really indicative of anything. If anything, I expect to lose money in my first month. I don't even look at it honestly. Like doing nothing. I just can I just go through the first month to get to the second and third month. So this is the conservative number of clients you want in the first 3 months of marketing. And there's usually a ramp up. Like, it's not like all of a sudden 5, 10 thing. Usually in my head, it's like 2 or 3 in my first month, then a couple more in the second month, and a couple more in the third month. So I just put conservatively, let's just say 9 clients, about 3 clients per month. Conservative. Whenever we do these estimations and things, we want to be super conservative with everything, with all the numbers, so that we want to overshoot it. Yeah, exactly, Richard. Don't you charge 1,000 for LLC? Exactly. That's why that one is, it hits a cap, and it's not ideal business. Then that's not where my focus goes. That's where my focus goes to other stuff versus a law firm that's only thousand. It's like doesn't get anywhere. Exactly the point. That was the realization. Unless if I go build back end offers, upsells, and things like that, every time I get 1,000, somehow squeeze out another 2 or 3,000 till then. But instead, I have other ones that are $5,000 values more. That's easier to scale than trying to figure how to turn that 1,000 to 3,000. So that's why I don't focus on that. Okay, so put in a number of clients you want in your first 3 months. If you don't know, you just put 9. I think 9 is a good number. Third question is, how much is that number of clients worth to me in my first 3 months? So basically, you multiplied answer number 1 by answer number 2. So each client is worth 5,000, and in my first 3 months, I want nine clients. That's 45,000. Let's just multiply question number 1, answer number 1, and answer number 2. Question number 4 is, how much am I willing to spend to make the answer number 3? So whatever answer number 3 is, put that in right here. Question is, how much am I willing to spend to make 45,000? Well, how do we know this answer? Well, ideally, you want to spend up to 1/3, you should, up to 1/3 of the amount of the answer to question number 3 above. Take that number you answered to on question number 3 and divide it by 3. So if this was 45,000, this is 45,000, this will be 15,000. Okay. Question number 5. This means in my first 3 months, I'm willing to spend 15,000, which is basically the answer to question number 4, to get answer to number 2, to get the 9 clients. I'm willing to spend $15,000 to get 9 clients. If I get 9 clients, that's 45,000, which is a 200% ROI. So if you want to scale your law firm consistently and predictably, you have to be willing and able to spend at least this much in your first 3 months of marketing. Okay? Do this analysis at the end of every month and continue to scale up your budget as long as you have a 200% ROI. Basically, it's a $2 profit or $3 revenue for every $1 spent. Does anybody, please don't be shy, does anybody not get this math behind this? Good question, Justin. I just think about the ad spend only, whatever the ad spend is, to just help me to whether to increase spend or more. If you really want, you could throw in the marketing costs as well too. You can, really must, but for me to, when I'm scaling, it's like, if I spend $5,000 in ads, how much money did I make? If I spend $2,000 in ads, how much? I don't take into factor. It's like the ads budget doubled, and that's the real result. That's the real factor that has changed. So I want to know if I doubled that ad budget, how much that affect my revenue? Not necessarily the fact that it was $2,000 for the marketing. So I went 7,000 to 12,000. But what I really changed was doubling the ad budget. I don't know. That's the way I kind of think about it. I want to know based on the variable. I guess that's the best way to say it. Based on the variable, what changed? How did it change revenue? Okay. So this number, look at this number. I'm willing to spend this much to get a number of clients. In your first 3 months, you have to be willing to spend this much in marketing. And that usually is a lot more than what you're spending right now. So it's not based on 2K. So Leah, going back to you, 2K is not going to cut it. Either do it for 5K. Let's get clear on whether this works for 5K. And usually a good benchmark, even if I don't do this math, my thing is like, how much is one client? I need to be willing to spend at least one client to at least get one client my first month, hopefully more, to give myself a chance.